Watch the Dune. It was fucking disappointing.
I
Yeah.
liked it. I liked it a lot. But
You watched the movie?
I did. I did.
Yeah. Fuck.
I mean, I read the books, so it's like I get what's going on, and it's amazing to watch.
I read the first book. I'm moving to the second now. Well, look, because of this way the structure of the book is, the book doesn't really basically starts at the beginning of the end of the first act. The book doesn't have a proper three act structure. The book basically
really.
starts basically, let's say the book starts with the second act, moves to the third at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the hero. You know he's the hero. The hero never doubts that he's the hero. He already knows that he's going to be the hero. He already knows the trials ahead. And the father dies within the first act very quickly. The Baron and all that, and it moves on to the third act. So, there's a shit ton of information in it, and I felt the movie like I just tweeted this. I said, I wonder if people who hadn't read the book got what was happening, because I read the book. Okay, here's the spice, here's the thing, and in that sense. But for somebody who read it, yeah, that's it. It's like, so I was reading it, I was like, I was watching it, I was like, all right, I get what's happening. I get the spice. But it was going way too fast to really try to cram that first half of the first act of the book within the 2.5 hour time period that they have. There were some moments of cutting back and forth that wasn't really proper, which I didn't like. Like Paul is in the tent and it's cutting to his Baron going to the father. Cutting back to Paul. I didn't like that. The fight scenes, I like the way they portrayed the shields. It was really smart. But the fight scenes were weak.
Yeah, the fight scenes could have been more graphic, I think, to really illustrate what it would be like to have to fight with shields and knives.
Yes. I felt like it was missing a grit. I'm missing this feeling of tension to it. It seemed a little choreographed and fake. And there was no blood splatter or anything as such, really. But at the same time, it didn't. Thank God he didn't do shaky cam. But because of the way the shield was and the way he shot it, you don't really get to appreciate the fight. The only time you kind of see a resemblance of what the fight is with the technology that they have is that just one scene that Jason Momoa is within the hall. He kills 3 Framens in the beginning of he's wearing the white shirt that he jumps and kills the other one, where you have a proper sight of what the fight kind of.
When he's fighting with the Sardaukar
with the Sardaukars, yes. That was the only time that the fight was really good. But aside from that, I love the visuals, the way he built the world. But I don't think especially the Sardaukar chant and the way that they portrayed the technology, the design, it was fantastic.
Yes.
I just don't think for somebody who hasn't read the book, he can understand what the fuck is happening.
Oh yeah. I've often told my friends that if you haven't read the books, you are not going to understand a goddamn thing that's going on, because this movie doesn't bother explaining to you anything. This is what happens when a movie is made by fans. Yeah. They assume that the watchers, the viewer is going to know.
Yeah.
All right. So it leaves very, very little explanation to somebody who's not big on the books. And that can be a huge issue, because we've had movies before that were based on like sprawling epics who did a better job at explaining things, like The Lord of the Rings and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. You were never lost with The Lord of the Rings. That having being said, The Lord of the Rings is the progenitor to a lot of the fantasy media that we enjoy now, whether it's like World of Warcraft or Dungeons and Dragons. So the tropes are more or less understood. I guess the issue is that in balancing out the storytelling with the explanation, the exposition, with the way how Denis Villeneuve directs,
Yeah.
he's going to focus directly on the visuals.
Yeah,
Right.
which is something that I have an issue with, but yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to bother explaining, and that can be very difficult for something like Dune, whose only successor is like Star Wars, and I think Star Wars,
Yeah,
and I think Star Wars. You know, I always thought that the sprawling text before the show starts was a little heavy-handed. Like
Yeah.
they're explaining the storyline to you when they should just show you what's going on.
yeah,
But looking back, I realized it was so necessary because this genre had never been done before.
yeah.
And when you're doing Dune, which is even older than Star Wars, and the lore is so rich, maybe that would have been helpful. Some expositionary
I think it would have been.
shit. Yeah.
In the book, there's like fragments between each chapter where it seems it almost seems like a news channel.
Yes.
But it explains like, okay, here the House of Atreides, here's the Harkonnen, and here the Sardaukar, or the legend of Paul Atreides and all that, which is at first when I bumped into it, I felt like, oh, that's weird. But then I really appreciated it because it kept me on track.
Yes.
Because the lore is immensely rich. There's just way too many moving parts. And this guy, what was the name of the director? I forgot. Sorry,
Denis Villeneuve. Yeah.
Yeah, I love his work. I really do. Like he did a movie called Enemy. Fantastic.
Yes.
Really, like it was fresh.
Yeah.
Enemy.
Arrival
Was,
yes,
really good.
Yes.
But that movie, like, it was standalone. It was perfect. What else did he did? He did Blade Runner 2048,
2049. Yes.
2049, which for a cinematic experience, I have to say, it was superb for a cinematic experience.
Yes.
But it was not a good movie.
Yeah. It struggles to tell a story. It is these collection of set pieces and this collection of visuals that is amazing to look at.
Yeah.
But for somebody,
continue.
But if you're used to the original Blade Runner, that sort of holds your hand a little bit as you're going along.
Yeah.
With regard to the plot and to the world.
Yeah.
You're gonna be really lost.
I didn't when I watched it. I appreciated the sound effect. I still listen to his sound effects, which I think was Hans Zimmer as well. Which I think he did I don't want to because I'm a big fan of him since Interstellar and Dark Knight and all that. For some reason, I don't. The Sahara soundtracks and all that didn't really work for me. For Dune, the Sardaukar chant was fantastic, phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the throat singing, yes.
The throat singing, yeah, it sounded like something very paganish. But for some reason, I felt like I didn't have the same tension that I felt with what he did with his like Nolan films or Blade Runner. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can tell me about that later. When I came out of Blade Runner, I was like, what was it about? I don't know. My brother who watched the movie, he loved the first cinematic experience, but if I ask him like, what was it about? He can't really tell what the fuck went on.
Yeah, it's really dense, and it's one of these movies that you're gonna have to watch 2 or 3 times to catch what the hell is going on.
Yes,
because a lot of the scenes are basically clues to the storyline.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have like a Sherlock Holmesy sort of eye to see what's going on.
You have to dig deep to kind of get the information out of it. But at the same time, I think because if somebody gets too carried away with a visual, they also forget that there's a story to tell.
Yeah.
Dune, in terms of design, I think he really uphold what it was intended to be for the book, what the
Yes.
writer intended to design in his head.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm seeing the Dune world.
Yes.
But am I seeing the story? No,
that's kind of a problem with a lot of viewers. Yeah. It's the visuals are so amazing that you're trying to understand what the stakes are just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can't. You're just seeing a series of events, but you don't seem to understand.
Bystander. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't really understand the huge implications of what is happening. Like all of this crap happening on this tiny planet will influence the fate of the entire known universe.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't feel like it's going to screw up the entire known universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have yet to see the influence of this. I suppose it's only because we haven't caught glimpse of what will happen in the future novels with like this, with like the guild navigators.
Yeah, the worm god.
The worm god. We haven't seen the emperor himself, which I kind of like. Like he's only hinted at in a distance. So he seems like an imposing figure, even though in the books himself, his influence is tenuous at best. But yeah, sometimes you can get so caught up in the visuals and from the effect and from the general feel of the movie that if you take a step back, you can think and you will realize, okay, but why is this important?
That's what they failed at. I think one YouTuber said it best. He said, "I watched the Dune movie and I don't care." I think that was the very interesting way he said. He said, like, I'm not mad. I watched a series of events happening, which I loved looking at because it looked spectacular, but I don't care. I've left the cinema going like, okay. And that was exactly the same feeling I had leaving the cinema. I was like, okay. Like, I love the way you design shit. The design was immersive. I saw a universe, but I did not care for one bit for what was happening. One plot point that like I wished it was emphasized on was Piter.
Yes. Piter the Vries. Yes.
Yes. I read the book and I remember that character. I don't really like, he left an influence on me. I was like, oh, I like him. I like this guy is scheming. This guy is even scheming behind the Baron in a way. Like even Baron don't trust him. Yeah. There's layers to him within the few scenes that he is in the book. But then he just suddenly dies and kind of saves the Baron's life unintentionally. Like he didn't do it like out of his love for it, but he just like screams "Yes!" and then he dies. And but there was layers to him, and he wanted to marry Lady Jessica. Yeah, that was his whole intention. It was like the lady keep the girl alive, which something it's not the Baron doesn't intend in this one. The deal that Piter and Baron had was that he will do whatever the fuck he likes with the boy and everything. I think the Baron wants to fuck Paul too. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, because he is a pedophile.
I mean, Timothy. I mean, come on.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit.
I've joked about banging Timothy Chalamet, but that's consensual. You understand? I would ask permission for may I to bed the Chalamet, and even then it's because I just want to make girls jealous. It's all part of my scheme.
It's all part of my scheme. Yeah, look at me going down on this dick.
Oh God, I'm the Baron Harkonnen. Oh Lord.
You just need some suspenders.
I just need to float. I just need to be bald and float.
Thank God that Dune doesn't have a red carpet in Malaysia. We'll know where you will be.
My Dune.
My Dune.
Yes, my Dune.
Which is something I've been saying
Dune.
since I watched the film. I'm going around the
Yeah.
house, suddenly saying, my Dune. My Dune. My
Dune. My Arrakis.
My Arrakis. My Dune.
I do appreciate that. At the very least, with this version of Baron Harkonnen, it looks like Marlon
He's
Brando in
smarter.
Apocalypse Now.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate it too, because in the books he seems not as smart as he is on the screen.
Yeah.
But in the screen he is sinister.
Yeah. He's a terrifying looking psychopath.
Yeah.
And you kind of know.
Yeah, and the way he played it, he was like I like that the guy, like the most, like the one part that like got my heartbeat up a little bit was when they go into the room with the gas and suddenly sees the Baron like in a corner of the ceiling, just like, breathing. Like I was like, oh, because like it shows one, it was like such a miserable creature he is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it like enhanced that. But like that was the only scene that kind of made me go like, oh shit. Fuck.
Yeah. It was like a jump scare almost.
Yeah.
You look at it and go, what the fuck? Okay.
A pedophile with wings. Jesus.
A pedophile with wings. That's essentially what he is.
That's something. That's every kid's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Hey kids, it's Baron Harkonnen, the flying pedophile.
Have you heard of the flying pedophile? Hey, what if I was a flying pedophile would catch you? Now called Baron Harkonnen the flying pedophile.
You could swap him out for Pennywise and it would still work.
Yeah.
You could see him in the sewer going, yeah, we all float down here. Yeah. Well, I float down here.
Oh, shit. But yeah, the actor nailed it. The actor nailed it. They made it very sinister. They made him give him that sinister thing. The prosthetics, for fuck's sake, was tremendous. Like he moves his head from left to right, and you see the flat flaps under his chin.
Yeah.
Moving, I was like, fuck.
He looks like a giant grub. Ugh, like a giant maggot. Yeah.
Fuck.
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, either way, he's, what will you call it? The second book, I think, is going to be, the second movie is going to be the third act, I hope, for the Dune. Or if they're going to miss it. I don't think they can miss that on this one.
No.
So they're going to, they have to wrap the story of first book, at least in the part 1 and then part 2. But let's see what comes out of it. Like he basically initially said, now that I've built the world, like his attempt to build the world, which again, I feel sad because it just could have been a little bit lingered a little. The thing is, it's just too big of a book, but it should have been an HBO series. But now that I've finished build the world, now I can play in the second half. Now that there's going to be action and all that is going to be in the second half.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that it should have been an HBO miniseries. They already screwed up Game of Thrones, right? Towards the end.
Yeah.
They could redeem themselves with a new miniseries. They could have. But then everybody would be like, we all know how Game of Thrones ended. You might screw this up. But these books already exist. They've existed for a very long time. So you might as well do that. And even the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries, for all of its small budget, was actually pretty good. I remember with Professor X. Yes, Leto the Second. I don't know. We'll see, because he can only really do the movies up until the end of Dune Messiah, because that would be 3 very huge movies. Apparently, the director's cut for the first Dune movie is like 5 hours long.
David Lynch never had the director's cut for a first movie.
Oh no, I'm talking about this one, this current Dune.
There's going to be a 5-hour director cut.
No, because Denis Villeneuve never does director's cuts. But
fuck him.
He
Fuck
never
him
does.
in his asshole. Hope Baron sits on a fuck.
He does. I don't know. Maybe it's just not in his SOP.
No, I know
But
these the directors that they don't do it. Like Nolan doesn't do
yeah,
it. So
yeah,
5 hours long, the
yeah.
first cut. So there's a lot of material.
Yeah, there's a ton of material that he left on the film. One of them involved Gurney Halleck actually playing the balisette. Like he
Oh
he
shit.
talks about yeah. He actually sang a song in like some alien language, and everybody said it was one of the most beautiful things they ever heard him do.
I think
Apparently,
he
Josh
might do
Brolin
it
is.
for this.
I hope
I don't
so.
see a reason for him not to do it because one, he loves it. Two,
Mm,
I think if there's a DVD cut for this, I think if he wants to
yeah,
really show the world, he would sell it. He would put it out.
yeah,
Because if you say it's 5 hours long, didn't because here's the thing, the scenes jumped so quick from one world to another, from
yeah,
one environment to another, that you really like, okay, here's the base, here's where they make the spice, here's where the hovercraft comes in, here's where the aliens are, and here's where
yeah,
the Paul is going to be there, and the desert, and the warm, and the this, and it's like, you're like, oh my god, this is like so many cuts one
yeah,
after another. Like, chill the fuck out for a minute, like give me a breather, man.
yeah.
So I
It's a
don't see a
lot.
reason for him to not do a 5 hour one. I would watch the 5 hour one.
Oh yeah, I think every person I've talked to who has seen the movie, who is a fan of the books, has said I could have seen more
Yeah,
because I think we all came out just hungrier
yeah.
because there was a lot of
Football.
stuff that we saw in the books that we didn't
I
see in the
kept
movie.
looking at Timothy. I'm like, yeah. I left the cinema very hungry.
Oh my god, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Which is not a good actor, by the way. I realized.
I mean,
I was like,
I will.
oh,
Okay,
if you were,
I will say this: he plays a confused 17-year-old boy very well.
Oh yeah, that's what I liked about it.
Oh, God damn it! God damn it, man!
I was wondering what I liked about his performance, and he's just a confused 17-year-old boy.
God.
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah, can't wait to get into his sand dune.
Oh. Oh my god.
Yeah, careful, you're entering the warm territory.
Yeah, we're all Baron Harkonnen now. We're all Baron Harkonnen now.
Yeah, I was talking about that to the people, my friends at work. Everybody, all the girls were like, "Oh my god, Timothy." Yeah, to which I had to join in. I was like, "Yeah, oh my god, Timothy." I call it Charlotte Young.
Oh. Yeah, no.
This turned into a pedophile podcast.
To be clear, the boy is of age.
Hey, we can roleplay, okay?
Ah, God.
Hey, I'm gonna pretend I'm the Baron, and you're here to take away my dune. This is my desert, my dune.
Just walking around. This is my desert, my Arrakis, my dune,
my Timothy, my Paul,
my Timothy, my Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib. Yeah, I like the Fremen though. But again, the fight scene with the Jamie was like, I was like,
Jamis, yeah.
Jamis, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit lacking in the sense. That scene where Lady Jessica was supposed to be using the weirding way to fight off the Fremen, the cinema was really dark, so I couldn't actually see her do it.
Really?
Which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, I couldn't actually.
Oh, I watched it on IMAX.
I watched it on IMAX too, but for some odd reason, the cinema got really dark, so I couldn't see her do the thing that she did.
Wait, she doesn't use the wait. She doesn't use the weirding. She doesn't use the language. She doesn't use the voice. She uses the weirding way. But to be honest with you, it's not really that much. it ends before it starts.
Yeah,
I watched it in an IMAX in Velocity, Sunway Velocity.
right.
And
Because
yeah, well,
I grew up with the miniseries. I was 17
yeah.
when I saw the miniseries.
Mm.
You know, just like Timothy Chalamet is in the.
I thought it. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, no, I
think
saw
you
your
noticed
face.
the way I looked.
You pervert.
You know who else was 17?
I saw. Okay, I saw how the Weirding Way looks in the miniseries, and it kind of looks like this thing that anime characters do when they're moving so fast it looks like teleportation.
Oh.
That's kind of what it looked like a flash step, just right. But you couldn't see that in the Denis Villeneuve Dune, and I don't know if I missed it.
No, you didn't miss it. The way she uses the Weirding Way, it just seems like martial art. I didn't see any effect going on when she uses the weird. The only effect that in her powers I saw was when she uses the voice.
Yes, which was interesting to look at. Yeah,
which was actually a very good way to go about it. With I felt it's just the person suddenly in a coma basically, and he comes to and like he's already done it. But what do you call the Weirding Way? No, he what do you call? What was the name of the actor?
The lady who plays Lady Jessica. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the man. The cigar. The not cigar.
Stilgar. Yeah.
Stilgar. Yeah. Stilgar. The name of the act when he fights Stilgar.
Javier Bardem. Yes.
Javier Bardem. Yeah. And when he fights Javier Bardem, it's basically he just twists her around and puts the knife under his throat. No special effect. Yeah. I like the small. I love the small. Not the wise ways that he tried to bring pieces of the story further on in forward, because later on in the book, not later on, like maybe a chapter or two after, Stilgar asks Lady Jessica why was he playing with Jamis, to which Jessica says he's never killed anyone. There was these small, he's read the book, so they bring it forward. So during the fight, he asks, he's like, why is he playing? Like, why is he playing with her? And he's like, oh, he's never killed anybody.
Yes.
There was that. Another thing I didn't enjoy was that there were flashbacks to Jamis.
Yes.
Which I don't think really served any purpose.
Yeah. So the way how the nerds online explained it was his visions are imprecise because his mind is now scanning for possible futures, right? So one possible future was that him and Janice would have been good friends. Another theory is that he's actually seeing through the eyes of Chani. So that's another theory. The thing is, you only appreciate that if you're like a hardcore Dune nerd. So it alienates a casual viewer.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been a problem for a lot of people who are new to the story. It's very confusing to look at. And I suppose in the director's cut, if there's ever going to be one, you get more context. If you can watch a 5-hour-long movie, I can. But at home,
for this
perhaps.
one, I would. Yeah, but yeah. I can't blame, but no matter what you do, some things just can't translate properly from text to screen. I can't like right now. You say, "Oh, he was seeing through the eyes of the girl." I didn't see that, but you had to read that online to think that.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
you would have to look at these online theories,
Yes, but if I hadn't read that and I looked at it and I was like, okay, wait, was he having? Is it relationship to his previous life? Or the whole time I thought I didn't know that the person there was Jamis. So, oh, is this going to be the person he's going to be befriended with and be nice to? They were going to be best friends and stuff like that in the future, and then suddenly he kills him. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so were those just visions that were false, or is he going to come back to life? Some shit. But because you know that he's Jameis, you're like, oh no, he's dead, done.
Yeah.
They even take his moisture, so
yeah.
So yeah, there were those things that the medium kind of kills and sacrifices, so you can't really help it.
Yeah, very much so. Again, it's just one of these things, the limitations of the medium, as you said.
Playing limitations of the medium. I would really love to see Josh Brolin playing the balisette and singing the alien language. See what the hell that gets out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do you think about the music, though? The score.
I personally quite like this sort of like trancey, semi-industrial sound, if only because a lot of my friends, particularly Nat, who was, trained in classical music, was expecting Hans Zimmer to do a score, like a musical score.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that kind of expectation. And since Dune looked like such an alien movie to me, and then the sound itself was very alien, it was very effective on me.
Yeah.
So the way how
I'm talking about one particular thing. The sound of the desert, the chant of the lady. That one.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I'll say this. I like that instead of wailing, she was actually shouting, because I've never heard that before. At the very least, that was different for me. I would have preferred more texture, obviously, because I've heard like Goranson do the soundtrack for like Black Panther and whatnot, and it had all of these tribal instruments that were interlaced with orchestra, and I thought that was really interesting. But you didn't get that with Dune. It was very barren, but I suppose that was the point. Very minimal. But I suppose that was the point because Arrakis itself is very barren. So the music itself is very barren. And I guess I wasn't as disappointed as, say, some of my friends who were expecting music, because I saw it as sound design rather than a score.
That's very smart.
I accepted it as, okay, this is not going to be a musical score. This is going to be atmospheric noise. And then I tempered my expectations somewhat. Yeah.
Okay, that's the way you looked at it approach is actually very smart, because I didn't look at it like that. Overall scores, 90% of the sound effects and all that, loved it. The only sound effect and the sounds that you hear within the Arrakis, I liked it when especially it kind of was referring towards the Fremen, where the religion of the Fremen is something based on Islam and a mixture of Islam. I think they said even Buddhism is somewhere around in it. I gotta tell you, I really appreciate within the book and within the film the way they portrayed that aspect of the religion and Islam. It was a kind of like an attractive way of showing Islam in a way. I'm not saying it's Islam, but I'm just saying the religion and it looks like Muslims basically. The chant is even an Islamic chant almost.
Yeah.
The words are also like Beni Gesserit, like when you hear Beni, like that's already Arabic within it.
Yeah. It's Hebrew, yeah.
Or Hebrew. Mahdi, they refer to him as Mahdi, which is a Shiite, who hasn't appeared yet, the prophet of Shiites. Which cut me off guard. I was like, they're actually going on these things. But but I felt like for that main chant, I felt like it didn't work for me. I didn't feel maybe because of the overall experience that I had with the film, I didn't have any build up or introduction to it. I didn't have that effect with it. Like in Interstellar, you always hear that hints of what the what that organ, the church organ, is in the background, that air that's coming out of the church organ. There's always hints of it, and the hints keep getting more and more and more. And when the climax happens, you have that whole blast of thing just coming out. So there's that. 1 second. But for this one, I think like maybe because of the speed that the whole movie had, it didn't build up for me to the point that I want to be like, all right, I get what's happening. So yeah, maybe that's the thing that kind of like put me off guard for it. It brought down the effect of it, was the speed of the film.
Yeah,
because usually when the score happens, there's a climax to the film, and the movie didn't have a climax. So maybe there's that too.
Yeah, it doesn't have a traditional 3-act structure because it's half a book.
Yeah, so there's.
And I suppose in writing the script, they should have added some tension there. But I don't know. Yeah. I suppose it's because, again, 5 hours worth of footage. And I think he was just a little bit lost as to where to even start, because
there's just so
much. If you've been a fan for like 30 years and you finally get a chance to film this thing, and you've done this much footage because you basically went berserk filming this thing, you're going to be like, oh, what the fuck do I got? You're going to lose your damn mind.
Probably.
So I think it's, I think maybe Denis Villeneuve should have taken the advice of the Bene Gesserit themselves, and before filming, maybe he should have said, I must not fear.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, I would have ended the film with the murder attempt on the Baron.
Yeah.
And then ends with you realize the Baron is alive.
Yeah.
Because that portion of the movie, that portion is actually, the book has more tension in that couple of pages leading up to the Baron's assassination attempt. So the way that Huey basically betrays the House of Atreides, places a tooth within the mouth of I forgot the fucking name.
Paul.
No, not Paul.
Leto, Duke Leto.
Leto. Yeah. And he says, "Remember the tooth. Remember the tooth." Like there was a sense of tension going with it, and it would have been going to the film. I thought that's where it's gonna end, but it didn't. So I feel like if he had ended it there, it would have cut some of the excess time that he had afterwards, where basically Paul gets introduced to the Fremen, and really let the world expanded on the world of the Dune further.
Right.
So you would have had a bit more easier time digesting the whole experience, and then maybe it would end with Baron, like, he's in the fucking oil tank and he's taking an oil bath and he's like, kill them all. So.
And then you end it,
Yeah. That would have been, I think, a proper point of ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's what I think. Either way, I'll still watch the second part, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting thought, because even the people who are disappointed with part 2 still want part 1, still want to see part 2.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. It's almost as if, okay, he might actually know what he's doing, because those who complain about part 1 are still going to be like, yeah, I'll watch part 2, sure, whatever.
Here's the thing. It was not a bad, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. You're watching it, you're like, this is a rough cut of a great film. That's the thing about it. That's why I'm saying, I'll definitely watch part 2. If I felt like it was a shitty film, I would not have been like, I'll watch part 2. You watch it and like, this is a quality, like this, there's quality to this. There's essence to this, which is the reason I want to continue on watching, even though I didn't get enough of it.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I guess I'm just looking forward to part two. I'm actually thankful that it passed its $100 million mark.
Me too.
And we get to see, because if you don't get a part two, I think people will start rioting in the streets right at this point. It is.
Yeah. What kind of a foreplay was this?
Yeah. This is like, are you shitting me? I don't get any dick? Really? Okay, well, fuck you. I'm burning the city down, I guess.
Yeah. I can't wait another 10 years for another. Timothy's going to grow old. Come on, damn it.
Oh, God, we're going straight to hell. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I hope I never meet this dude, because it will be really awkward.
Hey, we've been talking about fucking you for a couple of years.
So, we've had this running joke with my friends about how we want to bang you. Not for sexual reasons, just it would make me look good. They would call security so fast.
Yeah.
Why do I say these things?
I let out a laughter in the cinema when you see him naked in the bed. I thought about you.
Yeah. Oh, great! That's just great.
Like he gets up and I'm like, all right, keep me drooling at this point. Look at him! Oh, look at his tender body. So young, royal blood.
Oh Jesus! This is what Baron thinks. Oh God! Oh God!
Either way, man. I think we can end this segment on this.
Yeah. Let's end it on how we want to bang Timothy Chalamet. That's great. Yeah. Running gag. Yeah.
Yes.
It's see, now that's ending something with tension.
That's ending with a climax.
Yes.
With a literal all over Timothy.
So, oh my God. Stop. Let's just stop.
Hope you enjoyed it, fuckers.
Oh, jeez.